What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Eclectic Beard Reactions. This go around, be taking a look at Yes Minister. Now, this is Sir Humphrey Appleby on the proper function of government. Hopefully, this isn't blocked, and hopefully, if it is, it's like released in like a day or two, because that's how some of these shows are, especially if they come from BBC. So, this is something that, like this show, I'm watching, find the show probably on BritBox if I had to venture a guess. But I might have to add this show to the list of shows that probably wind up on Daily Motion, or possibly as one of the things that you can watch either in the free Discord, or possibly even the member Discord. Which member Discord right now I'm going through Only Fools and Horses, going through Afterlife and Faulty Towers. So yeah, I'm trying to take and give a good balance of stuff, but this is something that has been requested pretty well, pretty often. This is my first time seeing it, so yeah. Sir Humphrey Appleby on the proper function of government. This, I'm not even gonna lie, I took and I searched Yes Minister, and this is one of the ones that come up, and just the whole proper function of government, that interests me, that piques the interest, because yeah, I don't talk politics on here, but I'm pretty fluent in it. So before we go any further, like, subscribe, notification bell. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Last night, a confidential source disclosed to me that British arms are being sold to Italian red terrorist groups.
I see. May I ask who this confidential source was?
Humphrey, I just said it was confidential.
Oh, I'm sorry. I naturally assumed that meant you were going to tell me.
You seem to be very worried by this information.
Well, these things happen all the time. It's not our problem.
So does robbery with violence. Doesn't that worry you?
No, Minister. Home Office problem.
Humphrey, we're letting terrorists get hold of murderous weapons.
We're not.
Well, who is?
Well, who knows? Department of Trade, Ministry of Defence, Foreign Office.
We, Humphrey, the British government.
I love how he's trying to explain away, like, how it's not their problem. That's very politician-like.
Innocent lives are being set at risk by British arms in the hands of terrorists.
Only Italian lives, not British lives.
With British tourists abroad.
Tourists? Foreign Office problem.
Humphrey, we have to do something.
With respect, Minister, we have to do nothing.
What do you mean?
The sale of arms abroad is one of those areas of government that we do not examine too closely.
Well, I have to, now that I know about
Well,
it.
you can say you don't know.
I've got to find and watch full episodes of this show just off this scene. From what I've seen so far, 1 minute and 9 seconds in. This is a perfect encapsulation of the explaining away, or the mindset of government itself. It's like whenever it was discovered that the U.S. government was running guns through Libya to Syrian rebels. It was explained away by the government as, oh, we don't know how that's happened, and blah, 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 blah. Even though we had an ambassador killed because he's the one that helped set it all up. And just, but this right here, the explaining of way of, oh, well, it's this department right here, this department, mind-blowingly, like, spot on how the governments do. Holy shiitake mushrooms.
You suggesting I should lie?
Oh, not you, Mr. No.
Well, who should lie?
Sleeping dogs, Minister.
Now, I'm going to raise this.
No, Minister, I beg you. A basic rule of government is never look into anything you don't have to. And never set up an inquiry unless you know in advance what its findings will be.
Leave this. We're talking about good and evil.
Our Church of England problem.
No, our problem.
We're speaking good and evil. No, that's not. Now we're talking Church of England problem. Oh, dear God.
We are discussing right and wrong.
You may be, Minister, but I'm not. It would be a serious misuse of government time.
Selling arms to terrorists is wrong. Can't you see that, Humphrey?
No, Minister. Either you sell arms or you don't. If you sell them, they will inevitably end up with people who have the cash to buy them.
But not terrorists.
Well, I suppose we could put some sort of government health warning on the rifle, perhaps. This gun can seriously damage your health.
It's all very well to take this lightly, Humphrey, but we cannot close our eyes to something that is as morally wrong as this.
Very well, Minister, if you insist on making me discuss moral issues, may I point out to you that something is either morally wrong or it isn't. It can't be slightly morally wrong.
No, don't quibble, Humphrey.
Government isn't about morality.
Really? What is it about, then?
Stability. Keeping things going. Preventing anarchy. Stopping society. Falling to bits. Still being here tomorrow.
What for?
I beg your pardon.
What is the ultimate purpose of government, if it isn't for doing good?
Minister, government isn't about good and evil. It's only about order or chaos.
And it's in order for Italian terrorists to get British bombs. And you don't care.
It's not my job to care. That's what politicians are for. My job is to carry out government policy.
Even if you think it's wrong?
Well, almost all government policy is wrong, but frightfully well carried out.
Humphrey, have you ever known a civil servant to resign on a matter of principle?
I should think not. What an appalling suggestion.
For the first time, I fully understand that you are purely committed to means and not to ends.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Minister, and all of my colleagues, there is no difference between means and ends.
If you believe that, Humphrey, you will go to hell.
Minister, I had no idea you had a theological bent.
The back and forth between these two is fucking brilliant. Like this, holy shit. I'm going to tell you like this, like I'm blown away. Number one, there's a lot of laughter in this, and there's the back and forth and the bent from the one guy explaining everything away and his incredulity at just how disconnected he is, and easily just explaining it away like it's not our problem. It's not our problem. It's British stuff and it's going to Italian terrorists, but it's not our problem. Number one, it's funny, the back and forth, but how spot on it seems the governments, I don't care what government you live under, every one of them are like this. You get feigned disdain, feigned like outrage. None of it's real because no matter what they say, they give the okay on whatever happens. Like there's, oh yeah, they did it without their, no, they didn't do it without your approval. You knew it was fucking happening. And it's only whenever they're brought to task. And the fact that this conversation, I'm sure, is just a different stuff that you're hearing on here. Like how spot on it comes for me personally watching explanations from the government. I can imagine it's like the dude's a press secretary, and this is brilliant. This is absolute brilliant writing, in my opinion. Like, I'm blown away by this.
You are a moral vacuum, Humphrey.
If you say so, Minister.
It's time for your lunch appointment, Minister.
You're keeping very quiet, Bernard. What would you do about all this?
I would keep very quiet, Minister.
So, Minister, may we drop this matter of the arms sales?
No, we may not. I'm going to tell the Prime Minister, personally. Make an appointment for me, would you, Bernard? This is just the sort of thing that the Prime Minister wants to know about.
I assure you, Minister, this is just the sort of thing the Prime Minister desperately wants not to know about.
We shall see about that.
Indeed we will. What's the matter, Bernard?
Oh, nothing really, Sir Humphrey.
You look unhappy.
Well, I was just wondering if the Minister was right, actually.
Very unlikely. What about?
About ends and means. I mean, will I end up as a moral vacuum, too?
Oh, I hope so, Bernard. If you work hard enough.
Makes me feel rather downcast. If it's our job to carry out government policies, shouldn't we believe in them?
What an extraordinary idea.
Why?
Bernard, I have served 11 governments in the past 30 years. If I'd believed in all their policies, I would have been passionately committed to keeping out of the common market and passionately committed to going into it. I would have been utterly convinced of the rightness of nationalizing steel and of denationalizing it and renationalizing it. In capital punishment, I'd have been a fervent retentionist and an ardent abolitionist. I would have been a Keynesian and a Friedmanite, a grammar school preserver and destroyer, a nationalization freak and a privatization maniac, but above all, I would have been a stark-staring, raving schizophrenic.
Okay, so now I have to find full episodes of this. Now, granted, when I do, I'm going to let y'all know, because more than likely I'll have to put it up on Daily Motion. But this is brilliant. This was absolutely and utterly brilliant, in my opinion. Just the back and forth, the mindset, and it's almost like it was just from what I've seen in our politics, it's almost an inside look of almost how you'd see of like, oh no, you don't want to know about it. It's not something you want to raise, because 9 times out of 10 it's not. Like, that's just, I don't know, maybe it's because there's been so many instances here in the U.S. of like arms going to guerrillas in like Nicaragua, and the Iran-Contra arms deal, and then running guns through Libya to Syrian rebels who turned out to be frickin' ISIS and stuff like that. Like, that's just. And then the one guy sounds exactly like our media, basically. I say our media, like the press secretaries and stuff like that. Of like, oh yeah, no. It seems like the mindset between the two is just, this was brilliant. This was absolutely brilliant writing, in my opinion. Now, it's a satirization of government, I think, but Jesus Christ, is so close, it's almost indistinguishable. And I think that's what brilliant writing can do. So, y'all be good to each other. Love yourselves. Peace.